Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 6 of the Codeman Movie Podcast. First, let's start with my life. The last week I have not been working. We are closed for renovations to our bathroom, so I have been trying to get some sleep and actually got to watch some movies this week. I've also been thinking of some things, maybe to jazz up this podcast a teeny tiny bit. Got some lights. That should help brighten up my beautiful, tired face. Other thing I thought about doing is being able to use my TV as some background with some images. So whatever movie I'm talking about, I'm going to have it on my screen. Hopefully that'll help. I don't know how good it's going to look. If it doesn't, well, I tried, But hey, we're 5 episodes in, on my 6th now. It's time to try to beef it up somehow, some way. So I actually got to see quite a few movies this week, guys. So we actually have some stuff to talk about, whereas my last episode was 30 minutes long because I had nothing to talk about. Grab your drink. This week I am drinking a vodka with some peach and some orange juice and some cranberry. It's fruity. It's good. It's fine. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ooh, see, look at my TV turned on. So let's just get right into that. Since I'm planning on using my TV here, it's supposed to go to the image I have on my phone, though. Technology, don't you love it? Oh, would you look at that? There it is. All right, so the first movie I saw this week. It's really hard to see the poster. I don't know how to fix that. If you guys know how to fix that, let me know. I don't know how to do it. Probably just need a better camera on my laptop. Part of the reason why I've had some issues with uploading, I think, and going live, too, is my laptop. My laptop's getting old. It's been through a motorcycle accident. You can see my little bald spot from my accident there. Helmet came off. Anyways, different story. We're not talking about that today. If you ever want me to talk about that, you can put that in the comments so that we can do an episode on my motorcycle accident, I guess. Anyways, guys, here to talk movies. First movie I saw, if you can't really tell from the poster on the screen there, because it is kind of hard to tell. First one I saw was Power the Dog this week. This movie is getting all kinds of Oscar talk. I had heard so many different people talk about it. It took a hot minute for me to watch this movie because a lot of people were telling me that it's kind of boring, that it's slow. It's intentionally slow. 1 second. I realized my laptop's not plugged in. It's going to fall asleep at any point in time. We don't want that. Now we're good. Anyways, guys, I heard this movie's kind of slow, a little boring, and it's kind of a Western. Heard Benedict Cumberbatch was in it. Benedict Cumberbatch was amazing in it. Cody Smith McPhee was amazing in it. Kristen Dunst was amazing in it. Jesse Plemons. All the acting's amazing in it, is what I've heard. And the Oscars were announced, and pretty much everyone that is front and center of this movie has been nominated, so I had to watch it. What I can say about this movie is I agree with what everyone's been saying. It is slow. It is somewhat boring. It is a movie you have to pay attention to. Turn off your phone when you're watching this movie, that kind of stuff. But it is a really good movie. It's a really great drama. It's a movie that you look at, and there's certain things that characters do that you don't notice the first time around that makes you want to watch the movie a second time. And I do want to watch this movie a second time when I'm not exhausted, because lately I have been. Work is a killer. Anyways, so yeah, this movie's really great. It is a slow burn. It is a very dramatic movie. It's definitely one of those Oscar movies. This movie, I already did my top 10 of 2021. This movie wouldn't have made it for me. It's just not a movie I want to rewatch 100,000 times like I did the other movies on my list. But this is still a great movie for 2021. It's definitely deserving all the love it's getting for Oscars. I don't think Benedict Cumberbatch will win. I still really want Andrew Garfield to win. I think it is going to Will Smith. Cody Smith McPhee, I'm trying to think who he's up against. Jesse Plemons, I think, is one of the other people he's up against. J.K. Simmons. Who else has been nominated? I honestly think Cody Smith, I'm just off the top of my head, I think Cody Smith McPhee might have this one. He does a great job in this movie. He really does. Kristen Dunst, I don't think she'll have it. I'm trying to think who she's going to lose to. Maybe it's, I don't know, I can't remember. Point is, I don't think Kristen Dunst is going to get this one. I don't think Jesse Plemons is going to get this one. But you never know. It's the Oscars. I mean, La La Land won Best Picture for 5 seconds before Moonlight won. So, you never know what could happen. Power of the Dog, it's a good movie. It's nothing spectacular, but I liked it quite a bit. I'm going to go with my number that I keep using lately, 7 out of 10. It's a good movie. It is slow. it is a hardcore drama, I guess you could say at the end of the day. Drama Western. Great acting performances in it, though. And that would be my biggest reason to watch it, I guess. Moving on to the next one. Next one I saw was The Bronze. This poster you really can't see. There's too much white. It's too bright. Anyways, Bronze is a movie that came out in like 2011, I want to say. And it's a movie that I have heard a few reviewers talk about many different times. And I've kept wanting to see it. And it's an interesting movie for sure. It has Sebastian Stan in it, the guy who plays Winter Soldier. He's in this movie. I think it was the 2011, the same year that he was Bucky Barnes for the first Captain America movie. And also stars the girl from Big Bang Theory. She's the main character. And then the one girl from Split. But this movie is about a bronze medal winner from the Olympics. She did gymnastics, and it's like 18 years later, and she's washed up. That's the word to use, I guess. She's very much a washed up human being, and she is given the task of training this other girl who wants to be an Olympic athlete, and things go from there. This is a very interesting movie. It's very vulgar. It's very, very crude. There is an insane sex scene in this movie that is wowzer weird. It's a weird movie, but it is a really good movie. There's definitely moments of this movie that I was laughing out loud. And there's like a song at the end of this movie that just had me rolling. This movie uses the F-bomb a lot. I don't know what much else to say about this movie without giving away too much. Like, this movie is just one that needs to be seen. It's on Hulu right now. It's just insane. Was it the most hilarious movie in the world? No. Were the characters most likable or anything like that? No. But it was still a good time for a comedy. There was moments where the pacing was definitely off and such like that. This is a really interesting movie that I would definitely recommend for sure. I mean, if you like comedies, there's a good chance you're really going to like this movie. Like I said, it's weird. Oops. It's weird. It's different. It's vulgar. It's over the top. But I had a good time with it. As far as a comedy goes, I'd maybe go like an 8 out of 10 out of it. As far as a movie goes, it's probably like a 6. But as far as a comedy goes, this is a funny movie. It did make me laugh quite a few times. It's ridiculous, but it is a great, great little comedy that I think you should definitely check out. Next up, Full House. Guys, I've been watching Full House. I'm telling you that. I have gotten through seasons 3 and 4. I've watched 2 seasons. Now I'm on season 5. Again, what I've said with season 1 and season 2 is I did not realize how much of the show I really haven't watched. I've maybe watched 1 or 2 episodes from each season. Into season 5 now, that's where I'm really realizing I've seen most of the episodes from. Because I've seen quite a few episodes from season 5. There's at least, I'm maybe episode 9 or 10 of season 5, and I've seen at least 5 of them. So I've seen quite a few of season 5. Hadn't seen much of the first 4 seasons besides like an episode of each. Yeah, there's not much else to say. This is a good show just for people to watch. If something bad happens, it's fixed. People work together, blah, 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 cheesy, heartwarming stuff. Michelle's hilarious in this. There's quite a few times that I do laugh throughout this show. Every character's great. I really do like the show. It's just a good show just to watch. You don't need a drink to watch it, but I'm going to take a drink right now. But it's just a really great family show. I do realize that this show probably would not be rated G nowadays. There are some episodes, quite a bit is hinted at, and it's not rated G in today's standards. maybe that just goes to show you that we are being ridiculous as human beings sometimes and thinking that nobody can know anything because it might damage them for the rest of their lives. I don't know. That's getting into political talk. Cody doesn't like that. Moving on. Next up, guys, I went to the theaters to see Moonfall. I'm not a huge Roland Emmerich fan. Independence Day is a great movie. Everything else, this movie is getting some really bad reviews, and I don't think it's quite as bad as some people are saying. The problem with this movie is, if you've seen any Roland Emmerich movie ever, you've seen this movie. The characters are kind of forgettable. They're nothing. It's over the top, ridiculous. It focuses on things that don't need to focus on. My biggest problem with this movie is, like, it focuses on people that you really don't care about. You met for 5 minutes instead of being in space where these astronauts are trying to prevent the moon from falling into the earth. Like, the movie is called Moonfall. It should be about the moon crashing into Earth, not about all these other things where there's so much stuff that happens in this movie. There's stuff with aliens and people not doing what they need to do to help the world, blah, blah, blah. It gets into so much extra stuff. There's people in this movie that you just do not care about, but for some reason it focuses on for quite a hot minute. There's just a lot of unnecessary stuff in this movie. This movie should be about the moon falling into Earth. And when those moments happen, it's kind of cool. Again, it's stuff you've seen in other Roland Emmerich films. So you don't really need to see it. So unless you want to go see a Roland Emmerich film on the big screen, and you can't go see Independence Day on the big screen right now where you're living, I guess you can go see Moonfall. It's a great movie to have quite a bit of this beforehand. But, in fact, I'm going to have another drink. But it's not the most insulting movie in the world. I don't think it'll be in my top 10 worst movies of 2022 unless I decide I don't want to watch any more bad movies. But I watch everything, so yeah. Moonfall. It's not awful. It's not great, though. I would give it like a 4 out of 10. Look, there's some good visual effects. It is a dumb, fun time. Will I remember this in a week? It's been a week. I remember a chunk of it. I know quite a bit. I'll never watch it again. There's some stupid stuff in the movie. It's fine. It's alright. It's 4. It's the yellow zone for me. Moving on. I did a double feature one day. You cannot tell what this poster is. Damn. Okay. Well, I did a double feature one day, guys. I went and saw Moonfall, and then I went and saw Marry Me. This is another movie that I feel like a lot of people are trashing on. And while it's not good necessarily, it's not awful either. This movie is a romantic comedy. How many romantic comedies have we seen in theaters lately? Not very many. I gotta fix this now. It's like not straight. I'm moving you. Woo! That looks better. I don't know. Anyways, guys, this is not a terrible movie. Is the premise ridiculous? Yes. I mean, a woman on stage, she's singing. She's a big movie singer. She's a big singer, and on stage, she sees a guy in the audience, played by Owen Wilson, goes, "Yep, I'm gonna marry you." And that's that. They get married, and they eventually fall in love with each other. We know how it's gonna go. It's like, basically, I've never seen Notting Hill. I've seen parts of it. But it is basically what Notting Hill is, I think, from what I've seen and heard of that movie. So it is paint by numbers. You know exactly what's going to happen. There's a decent soundtrack. I've been singing some of the songs occasionally because, well, it's just in my head. But it's not the most amazing movie in the world. This movie is also available on Peacock. Don't watch it on Peacock. Go see it in the theater. Is it a movie you probably want to watch on Peacock more? Yeah, but again, I want to. If I get political, it's going to be on movies. We need movies in the theater. I don't want this crap on Peacock. It's great to see a romantic comedy in theaters. There was 2 other people in there. It was a couple. That was weird because I was the only one in there. But, oh, my TV went dark. But anyways, guys, it's a harmless romantic comedy, but it's good enough. Music's good enough. Acting's well done. Owen Wilson is just, it's hard to hate Owen Wilson, I think. It really is, in my opinion. Um, Again, though, this movie's nothing spectacular. It's like a 5 out of 10 for me. It's nothing amazing, but it's, it came out Valentine's weekend. Go see it with your significant other. Why not? It's not a terrible movie. It's about love. Feel some love, guys. I don't know. Moving on. Sometimes I don't realize the things that I say. I really don't. Next up, guys. Ugh. This really isn't working. I'm gonna zoom in. Ready? Peacemaker. I watched this entire first season. I have been watching it week by week. Haven't talked about it much because I just like to wait till the show is completely done to go through it all. I have to say I like the first half of this season more than the second half, but this show is insane and great and crazy, and I freaking love every second of it. I am there for season 2. It's just insane that someone came up with it. James Gunn is, he's a mastermind. He's awesome. The things, the twists, the turns in this show are just great. It's funny. The violence is ridiculous violence. It's just, this is a great show, guys. If you have not seen Peacemaker, it's one you should watch. I didn't love The Suicide Squad. I thought it was good. Solid 7 out of 10. But, I was really still excited for the show. I really wanted to see where John Cena took this character, because his character in the movie, too, is completely just awful. There's nothing great about him. And as much as I liked John Cena's performance in the movie, I thought he did great. I still didn't like the character, and I didn't know, watching, 8 episodes of this guy, would it be worth watching? But it really is. You go into his backstory, you go into his life, and you realize why he is the way he is, and it's a great show. I really do like this show quite a bit. I would definitely recommend this show. There's some moments that feel, empty and not needed and such like that, but it's very few. It really is just a solid show. I definitely will recommend this one. You know what? It's like a 9 out of 10 for me. It is so good. There's just a couple moments, I'd say, throughout the show that just, feel like it's filling up a showtime, a TV show episode, essentially. Other than that, this is a really good show, and I recommend it. Peacemaker is so freaking good. Moving on. Next up, I watched another Oscar-nominated film. Well, this one you're really not getting, guys. You still can't really tell what it is. But it's Mitchells vs. Machines. This is an Oscar-nominated animated film. Hey, that looks good, actually. Oh, it was good for 10 seconds. I don't know why it changed. My computer sucks. Oscar-nominated film for animated feature. It's from the producers, I believe, of the Lego Movie and Spider-Man the Spider-Verse. Chris Lord and Phil Miller. They also did 2122 Jump Street. This is a really good movie, guys. It's about a girl who wants to make movies, and her family gets involved, and not involved with making the movies, but her family is with her all the time, and they go on this road trip, and things get crazy. This movie's insane. This movie, the biggest flaw I would say with this movie is that it's just juggling so freaking much, and it is a tad too long. It's just about, I think it's like an hour and 52 minutes or something like that. Could have been an hour and a half. It should have been more along the lines of a 90-minute film, and I think it would have been tighter and just more grabbing. By the end, it was like way too much, and I was wanting to look at my phone a bit more than I would normally would. Maybe that's because I didn't see it in a theater. This movie should have been in theaters. I would love to see this movie in theaters. And it's another one of those movies that's made for adults, but kids can watch it. Because there's just a lot of things that kids would not understand or get. But it really is a good movie, guys. Maybe it's my love for movies too that made me love this movie even more because the main character is so into movies and making movies. Again, there's some ridiculous stuff, just over the top ridiculous at times, but it's an animated kids movie. Who cares, you know? I had so much fun with this movie, and I highly recommend this movie. 8 out of 10 for this one. Like I said, it could have been a little shorter. A few more things could have been taken out, edited out, just to make it a little bit more tighter of a film. But it really is a good movie. Next up, guys, I really have been in a Bob Saget mood. Just because his death was so surprising to me and stuff like that. So I've been going back. I have watched this special before. Bob Saget's That Ain't Right. I think you can kind of tell. I got to figure out how to fix this. This is weird. I think it's just my camera. I need a better camera or something. But get me to 50 views for one of my podcast episodes, and I'll go get a better camera or a microphone or whatever item. We'll do a poll. We'll see what item I need most. I don't know. Anyways, so I watched this special, and immediately from the top, you realize that this is not Danny Tanner. Bob Saget says the F-bomb so many different times. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street on this freaking special. And he is hilarious. And he is... I didn't realize how quick-paced Bob Saget was. He talked so fast. I want the word count for how many words he says in this special compared to like a normal special. Because he's just rattling and going. And it's almost like he doesn't take time to breathe. It's insane how much words he puts in a single sentence. And I love in this special, he uses an audience member. He referenced backs to so many different things. He talks about Full House. At the end of the day, this would have been a guy I would have loved to spend some time with. Spent a day talking to. Because he has my wicked, weird, dark sense of humor that I love. He does use the F-bomb a lot. You probably don't know that from watching these videos, but I love the F-bomb. I just try to keep it a little nicer in case kids are accidentally listening to this or, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, guys, this is a really great stand-up special. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I believe I had seen it before, but it felt nice to watch. I don't know if it's because his death was so sudden. I don't know if it's because it was such a surprising death in the sense that it sounds like he just hit his head and he didn't wake up the next day, basically, is what I've been getting out of this. I haven't looked fully into it. I've just been too tired and dead to do that, but Bob Saget was a great comedian. He's great in Full House. He's great as a comedian and just hilarious. If you guys need a laugh, watch this special. It's on HBO Max. It's an hour long. It's got some language and stuff, though. So be prepared if you don't like that kind of stuff. Stand-up specials are kind of hard for me to rate, I guess. But at the end of the day, I rate it on how much I've laughed. And I laughed a lot throughout this. I think Robin Williams specials are probably my top tier ones. Those are like my 10s out of 10s, This is like a solid 9 out of 10. It is a great special. See, I don't just do 7s, guys. I do 9s for Mr. Saget. For America's Dad, who says fuck a lot. There we go, I said fuck. Ooh, we said it twice. Ooh, shit. Oh, fuck. Next up, guys. I think I've just said in last previous podcast episodes that I listened to the Big Thing podcast with Christian Harloff. They're doing a Batman rewatch, and so I've been kind of listening to the episode and then going back and watching the movie, keeping in mind some of the things they've talked about. And so Batman Begins, we're watching Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises before The Batman, which comes out not this week, the week after. Very freaking excited for that, guys. Oh, I'm excited for Batman. Love Batman. I don't know about this new movie. I really don't. I love Reeves. The 3-hour runtime, that scares me with how dark of a movie it looks, but you never know. I'm just getting freaking excited. Anyways, guys, Batman's my favorite superhero of all time. I think he's the most well-written character of anything ever. I love that he has to be Batman. He has to be billionaire playboy philanthropist. ladies. I'm good at that. Anyways, what the fuck? I'm gonna take another drink, guys. Anyways, yeah, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, and then he's also a depressing, dark guy who wants to die, essentially. And I love Batman for that reason. That he's like three different people all in one. There's so much depth to the character of Bruce Wayne / Batman. And Batman Begins, guys. I remember seeing this for the first time in 2005. Just freaking fell in love with this goddamn movie. Christopher Nolan, very quickly. That's when I learned what a director was. I learned cinematography. That's when I really fell in love with movies. I remember back when I was like 5 years old, I saw Mrs. Doubtfire for the first time, and that's when I really started liking movies. But this is where I fell in love with movies, was 2005's Batman Begins. I wanted to... I just love movies. I couldn't stop. I couldn't get enough freaking movies after watching this movie. And I just started learning things about movies from this movie. This movie is just fantastic. The fact that Batman doesn't show up for about an hour into this 2-hour, 20-minute movie, it's insane, but it's so captivating. The origin story of Bruce Wayne, when he goes and trains with Ra's al Ghul's company, the League of Shadows and such, it's just, this movie is so freaking good. And I went to Chicago for basically the first time this last summer to go to Lollapalooza. I went with a friend who's lived in Chicago forever, and he took me to some of the spots where this movie, The Dark Knight Rises, has been filmed. And it just, oh, God, I love these movies even more. These movies, I can't even explain it, guys. I just love the character of Batman. I love what Nolan did. I love Christian Bale's Batman. Some people don't love it. They don't love the voice. I do love it. Bruce Wayne's insane. The guy's mental. We all know this. He literally says it in the movie. Any guy who dresses up in a bat clearly has issues. He's got issues. That's why he's talking like a freaking idiot. Because he's got to hide the fact that he really does have issues and shit. Oh, God, I love Batman Begins. This movie is so freaking great. There's moments where there's a couple moments of special effects that don't fully hold up from 2005. There's a couple moments where, like, the child actors are a little wooden. Everything else is perfect to me in this movie. I love this goddamn movie. There's also that moment where they, like, explain something and then they explain it again in another scene, thinking that you didn't understand it the first time you said it or something. I don't know. Little nitpicks about this movie, but this movie's a perfect movie to me. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I love Batman Begins, guys. This movie just, I love it. Love it. I love it. It's a great origin story. I love every character and I love every actor who plays every character for the most part. I just love this movie. I love Nolan as a director, and it's just the movie that made me love movies. And it's just such a good movie, guys. It really is such a good movie. And people who don't like superhero movies have said that they like this movie. They love this trilogy. There's a good reason for it, because it doesn't feel like a superhero movie necessarily. It just feels like a man. Not so much this one, I guess. But Batman Begins is more of a superhero. Dark Knight is one that you can argue doesn't feel like a superhero movie. Anyways, I'm getting off into a tangent, a rant, I don't know. I need to watch Dark Knight too. I have not watched Dark Knight yet this week. I did listen to the episode of The Big Thing from last week. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I think I might do that after this, because I want to watch Dark Knight now. I'm getting so excited. But anyways, guys, Batman Begins. Great freaking movie. 10 out of 10 for me. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I watch this movie at least 2 or 3 times a year. Love it so much. Next up, guys, again, I've been catching up on Oscar movies. Decided to watch this one, Spencer. It's Kristen Stewart has gotten nominated for her role as Princess Diana. I was looking into it. This very much is a fictional story of Princess Diana. Very little of this is true. There's bits and pieces, I'd say maybe 10-20%. Sometimes I hate that. For something like Bohemian Rhapsody, I might have talked about this before. I don't think Freddie Mercury, if he were alive today, would have liked this movie. I don't know about Princess Diana with this one. Her just realizing that this is just a fictionalized story, I think she might have been okay with this. I don't know. I guess I don't know that much about Princess Diana at the end of the day. That's not something I am like in need of knowing a lot about. But I did look into it to see how much is true, how much is fake. Not a lot of it is real. This is a very much fictionalized story. And at the end of the day, what I got from this, the big message of the movie, is just showing what celebrities have to go through, essentially. People of fame, people that are in the light. It's just kind of what they have to go through. And that's really what hit me about this movie. There's a scene where someone tells her that she cannot get undressed with curtains open because people might take pictures. And for me, someone that doesn't give a fudge if the curtains are open when getting dressed, I just kind of go. It's insane to me. And just the idea that there are all these things that, like, there's certain things she can't eat when she wants to eat in this movie, which is insane to me. When I want to eat, I freaking eat. It's almost, the way I almost saw Diana in this movie is almost like she's a child. Like she's a baby that nobody thinks that she can take care of herself. But she's a grown-ass adult. And she can take care of herself, but she can't because she's a celebrity. That's kind of really what I got out of this movie. And that was interesting to see. It is kind of a boring movie, though. It feels longer than it is. It's the same director as the guy who did Jackie, which Jackie was kind of a boring movie, too, at the end of the day. But again, for me, what I got out of Jackie was more of just the message. Everything that a person goes through. And at the end of the day, we don't know what Princess Diana was thinking. We don't know anything like that. But I liked the perspective that this director kind of puts through the main characters in the sense of what Jackie and Diana might have been thinking, what they might have gone through, what any normal person probably would be thinking and feeling in a situation like that. That's really what I take away from these movies. These are not movies I ever watch again. I watched Jackie once in theaters back in 2016, I think it would have been, when that one came out, 2016, 2017. And I remember going, wow, this is a great movie. It's so beautifully done, blah, 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 blah. I'm never watching this again. And I haven't. But at the same time, I can remember quite a few things that happened in that movie. And I could still talk to a person about that movie. Yeah, there would probably be things that I would not have fresh in my brain, but I could still talk quite a bit about the scenes that I remember particularly. This is going to be one of those movies. I'm never watching Spencer again, but there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to remember from this movie. And did Natalie Portman win that year for Best Actress? I'm trying to think. I think Emma Stone won for La La Land. I don't know if Kristen Stewart has this one. I'm trying to think all the people nominated. I think out of all the people nominated, from what I remember, I think she deserves it the most. She's the one I would prefer the most. I don't know if she's got this one in the bag, though, unfortunately. And I think she does such an amazing job. She is definitely not just Bella from Twilight. She's grown to be so much more than that. She is a great actress. She really is. So yeah, I kind of hope she wins the Oscar for this because she is just so fantastic. At the end of the day, I don't ever need to see this movie again. I would give this a higher rating, but I think I'm going to give it around the same rating as I did Jackie. I think I give Jackie either a 7 or 8 out of 10, and that's kind of where I'm at on this one. This movie would be higher for me if I wanted to ever watch it again, but I don't. I really don't. It's just so depressing and sad and kind of dark and dreary that it's not one I see myself in again. But it is a really good movie. It's one y'all should watch because the Oscars are coming up in like almost a month. It's probably a month now. I forget the exact date, but yeah. Totally watch it. It's on Hulu. Check it out. Spencer for you. Next up, another one that's kind of hard to see. Guys, I watched the French... You really can't see it, no matter how I do it. My camera sucks. I watched The French Dispatch, guys. Before I even start talking about this one, guys, I don't like Wes Anderson. I know that's a very unpopular opinion to a lot of people out there. I just find him to be very over the top and ridiculous and artsy-fartsy to the point that I feel like he thinks he's better. I don't want to say that. When I'm watching his movies, I feel like I'm not good enough to be watching his movie. I feel like an idiot. because it's just so artsy-fartsy. That's like Wes Anderson's behind the camera going, ooh, look what I can do with a camera. I bet you can't do this. I am a master filmmaker. And I just don't like that feeling. I've liked a couple of his movies. I love Fantastic Mr. Fox. I like Isle of Dogs. I love Moonrise Kingdom. All three of those, phenomenal movies. Actually, I kind of want to watch Moonrise Kingdom now, too. But anyways, he has made some good movies. This one is another one that I just cannot stand, though. It's all over the place. It's just ridiculous and over the top. I remember back in, was it 2017, when Transformers The Last Knight came out? Michael Bay had the movie in different aspects. It went from IMAX to whatever, to widescreen, to... It was all over the place, and people were complaining about it. Wes Anderson does this all the freaking time in his movies. And I don't see the difference. It goes from full screen to black and white to color to widescreen to it's all over the place. And for some reason, people find it beautiful when Wes Anderson does it. Michael Bay does it, it's stupid. Either way, I think it's kind of stupid. Christopher Nolan's another one that does IMAX shots. And when he does film a scene where it's like, IMAX, regular, it does drive me nuts. When he does one particular action sequence, like I'm thinking the opening of The Dark Knight. The opening of The Dark Knight is just an IMAX sequence. And then after that scene, after that action scene, it goes down to the widescreen. That I'm okay with. I do like that. I like when we see the difference between the IMAX and the regular. This movie, it's just widescreen, color, black and white. It's all over the place, and it drives me nuts. And then it's essentially like three stories that kind of line up together. And I'm not a fan of Wes Anderson. I'm just not a fan of French Dispatch either. I found this movie so boring. I was waiting for it to end. I could not wait until this movie was done. Yes, there are some beautiful shots. Like, he does know how to make a great shot. There are moments where I had my eyes glued to the screen, not because I liked what was necessarily going on in the scene, but what it looked like. It's beautiful to look at some of his shots. But it almost feels like it should be like a music video or something. It's like 3 minutes of amazingness, and then I'm bored by these ridiculous, over-the-top, dumb characters, this weird, quirky writing. I understand why if anyone likes Wes Anderson. For me, I just cannot stand the guy. Just can't do it. I want to. I really do. I want to be one of these people that love the Grand Budapest Hotel and love the Royal Tenenbaums, but I just can't. I can't stand it. It's so pretentious, in my opinion, over the top and ridiculous. Just can't stand it. I really can't. French Dispatch for me is like a 4 out of 10, guys. Yes, there's some good stuff, but like, if I had to pick between Moonfall and watching French Dispatch, I would rather watch Moonfall. At least it's got some fun action sequences in it, whereas this movie it has some fun moments to look at. And that's about it. I want to see scenes of his movie as a mural or a poster, but not as a full freaking 2-hour movie. I just can't stand him. I don't know why it is. I need another drink. I'm just not a fan of him. I know, some people get mad at me for that. I'm sorry. Next up, guys, I decided to rewatch, it's really hard to see again, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Woo! Now, as I told you, I am a big Batman fan. I love Batman. I really do like Ben Affleck as Batman. Didn't love Batman vs. Superman, but I love Ben Affleck as Batman. He's great. And I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder fan. I want to be. He's from Green Bay, Wisconsin. But I'm just not a big fan of his work. I believe he started as a music video director. I think he should kind of go back to that. His movies a lot of times are style over substance. The story's not that great, but the visuals look great. I liked that about Man of Steel. There's some beautiful moments in Man of Steel, some beautiful moments of Batman vs. Superman. And I remember when the 2017 Justice League came out, I didn't even go see it in theaters because it just looked bad to me. I didn't think it was going to be good. I heard all the issues behind the scenes, and when I did see the movie, I went, wow, this movie is not that good. It's not awful, but it's not that good. And so when they said there was this extended Schneider cut of Justice League, I was excited about it. I really was. At first, I didn't even believe it existed. But when we found out it did exist, I did get excited about it. I got HBO Max just for it. I did not have it at the time. I got HBO Max basically just to watch Justice League. And the first time I saw it, I thought it was way better than the original Justice League, but I didn't love it. I thought there was still a lot of unnecessary stuff in the movie. It was more style over substance, once again. But then Zack Snyder, shortly after that, came out with his interview basically saying he just threw everything into it. He knew he would never get another chance at this probably again. He would maybe never get a chance to direct a DC movie again with these characters. So he wanted to put everything in it. And I feel like as you're watching the movie, there are scenes that feel like deleted scenes that he just kind of put in there just because this is it. He's going to throw everything at it or throw nothing at it. And when you look at it in that perspective, like the last half hour of the movie is basically just end credit scenes showing what he was kind of thinking about doing. So at the end of the day, it's really not a part of the movie. Hey, that looks kind of better. I kind of like that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. But you can't see... Well, I don't like Superman, so I'm going to cover him up. Focus on Batman. Batman's badass. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at Batman. He's a badass. Anyways, guys, so this movie, it's so much better than that theoretical cut. It's a really good movie, and the more I watch it, the more I like it. And even after watching it that first time, I didn't love it. I thought it was good, not great. There were still moments that I didn't like. And the more I watch it, the more I love this movie, and I keep wanting to go back to it. Problem is, it's a 4-hour-long movie, and I need plenty of time to watch it. This is the first time, I think, that I have watched it in chapters. I watched 2 chapters at a time, went to sleep, woke up the next day, watched 2 more chapters, went about my day, came home, watched it in 2 more chapters. First time I've done it that way. I do enjoy that in chapters. It is almost like a TV series with how long it is and such. But it really is a beautiful film. It does rely a little bit too much on special effects and stuff like that. Flash as a character is one that I really hated in the 2017 Justice League. I like this version of Flash. I still don't love him. He's a little over the top and ridiculous in my opinion, but he's better. I love the amount of time that's given to Cyborg. I love what they did with what Zack Snyder did with the characters, and I think this is such a good movie. It was in my top 10 of last year. It's one that it definitely will be watched again by me anyway. I need to pick this up on 4K. It was available during Black Friday, and I didn't pick it up for some reason, and I'm regretting it. I need to go find it and go get it. I think I've already rated this. It's like a solid 8 out of 10 from you guys. This is really good. If some of that fat was trimmed off that Zack Snyder put on there, just because it was being all thrown out there, it was nothing or everything, I think I would like it a bit more. I think at the end of the day, there's a really good 3-hour-long movie in this movie. And that's the part of the movie that I love seeing. So yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Super great movie. Next up, I saw... Ooh, that doesn't look as good. Blown up. Well, guys, you can't really tell from the poster. I saw Uncharted. Oh, that's where the name is. It's right there. Focus, like, right on that. Uncharted. So, guys, I have to tell you that I'm not a big video gamer. I wasn't really allowed to play video games growing up. If we did get to play video games, they had to be, kid games, and we were only allowed a half hour at a time to play it. My mom and dad were very much against video games, so I didn't get to play video games growing up. Throughout my early 20s, I didn't get much chance to play video games. I was working, I was going to school, basically working way too much on school, so I didn't get a chance to play video games. And when I did have a chance to relax, I wanted to watch a movie. I didn't want to think and focus and play with my thumbs. So for a graduation present, I actually bought myself a PS5. And I've slowly started getting into video games. I played all of Spider-Man Miles Morales. Working on the Avengers, it's all right. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm working on, it's all right. And then Assassin's Creed Valhalla, playing that too. So I'm slowly working on playing video games. I worked a 90-hour week though a week ago, so I still really don't have the time to play video games. I need to find a job where I have some time to play video games because I would like to get into video games more. And after watching this movie, I do want to start playing the Uncharted video games. There's something that really interests me now, and they seem like fun. Seem like they'd be fun games. Oops. This movie, though, it's nothing spectacular. Some people are really hitting hard on this movie. I don't think it's that bad. It's not amazing. It's one of those forgettable treasure hunter movies that you just forget. There's a line in this movie that is basically a line from Indiana Jones. And then about 10 minutes later, the character literally says to another character, "Are you Indiana Jones or something?" Or no, what does he say? He goes, so when did you want to be Indiana Jones? And it was just like, so this movie thinks it's Indiana Jones, but it's not. It's really not that good of an Indiana Jones. Just watch Indiana Jones. So yeah, this is just a treasure hunter movie. We've seen it 100 times before. But it does have Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. They have great chemistry in the movie. This movie is over the top and ridiculous. I'm talking like, you know when you watch Fast and Furious, and there are certain things that happen in the Fast and Furious movies that you start laughing at and go, oh, that's so cool, but you're laughing at it? That's Uncharted for you. There are things that happen in this movie that I was just laughing at because it's so ridiculous, but it was also kind of cool and fun. But at the end of the day, is this movie amazing? No. Will I ever go see it again? No, probably not. If a friend was watching it at their house and I happened to be there as well, would I watch it again? Yeah. It's very forgettable though. It's a good movie again. Brings me alcohol too, which I actually did. I snuck in a little bottle of liquor. I need to get a flask. I'm not an alcoholic, guys. Not at all. I'm not barely an alcoholic enthusiast. I just work at a bar, so you know. I don't know. I do like alcohol. I am an alcohol enthusiast. I take that back. Anyways, guys, Uncharted. It's fine. It's nothing spectacular. It's not one you need to see. I know nothing about the video games. I have seen and heard things that if you're a fan of the video game, you're not going to like what they do. Like Tom Holland's character, I guess, is supposed to be like in his 30s or something. Tom Holland definitely doesn't look like that. Mark Wahlberg's supposed to be like in his 60s. He doesn't look like that in this movie. I didn't care at the end of the day. It was fun enough. Didn't hate myself for watching it. It's a good enough time. I give it like a 5 out of 10. It's fun. It's fine. I would compare it to National Treasure. National Treasure is no masterpiece of a film. But, you know, it's fun enough that, like, I have a good time when I watch National Treasure. That's the same with this. It's just fine. Next up, guys, I went and saw Dog. I think I said this in my last podcast episode. I was getting beyond excited for Dog. And part of it is just because I love flipping dogs so freaking much. I think they're just the best animal in the world. And my Chinese animal actually is a dog. I'm just a dog person. I like dogs. Hey, that looks better, but now you can't see my face. Not that anyone cares. Not that anyone cares. But, you know, anyways. I was just really excited to see this movie. I really was. Did I think it was going to be picked by numbers? Yup. Did I think it was going to be the most amazing movie in the world? Nope. Was it both of those things? Yup. But it was just a good, heartwarming movie. I went to the theater, and the manager said Channing Tatum co-directed it, which I knew that already. And she also said the only way he would sign on is if the dog didn't die at the end. Which, the movie, actually, the plot of this movie is he needs to bring this dog to another state so that it can go to her master's funeral and then be put down. So the movie is about the dog almost dying the entire time. And that was actually something else I talked about with the manager too, and another employee that was working there that day, that there's no happy dog movies. This feels like the happiest of dog movies, which is great, because it is a really good, heartwarming, beautiful movie. For the most part, it is a family movie. Are there some suggestive things and such like that? Yeah, but this is a really good movie, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed myself watching this movie, and there was moments where I was laughing, moments where I was smiling, um, moments where I was getting teary-eyed. I never cried really, but I was definitely feeling it, I was feeling it in the heart, and it's just a good movie, guys. I would recommend going out and seeing Dog. Not the most amazing movie ever. There's definitely moments that are just weird sidelines in this road trip. Like, there's a moment where Channing Tatum almost has a threesome, and it just felt like weird and unneeded. But it was, a little side trip in this adventure that we were going on. And it is just a nice story. The trailers show this, that the dog goes from hating him to loving him. The transition period from when the dog hates him to love him, I didn't buy it necessarily, but I didn't care. It was such a great, heartwarming movie. I loved it quite a bit. I will watch this one again. Probably not going to be in my top 10 necessarily, but it was like an 8 out of 10 movie for me. It was just a really good, feel-good movie that I really enjoyed. It was another double feature day for me, too, when I saw this movie. I saw this with Uncharted. Saw Uncharted first, then this one. I'm glad I saw this one second. This was just a really good, feel-good movie. It's the last movie I saw in theaters. So, yeah. I need to go to the theater again. Kind of want to go see Spider-Man again. I haven't seen Spider-Man in like 3 weeks. Oh, my God. I know. It's crazy, right? I'm hearing, too, that there's going to be... Now I'm just getting on a Spider-Man tangent. Maybe we should go back to Uncharted for this, because that's Tom Holland, the guy who plays Spider-Man. But I heard they're going to re-release Spider-Man No Way Home with an extended cut, almost like what they did with Far From Home. I'm so going to go see that. So going to go see that. But yeah, Spider-Man. Kind of want to go see it again. There's currently a snowstorm going outside, so I don't know that I'm going to go today. But it is $5 movie day. Kind of want to go. Might do it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, that was Dog, Uncharted. That's it for movies I've seen this week, guys. Movie that's coming out this week, Studio 666. I just learned about this movie not too long ago. It stars the Foo Fighters. I actually saw the Foo Fighters this summer at Lollapalooza. Thanks, Mac, for bringing me to Lollapalooza, because I had a great time watching the Foo Fighters. It's like a weird horror movie or something. That's about all I got from it. I don't know much about this movie. The Cursed is still playing. I don't have an image of that one because I just remembered it, honestly. That's a movie that's coming, that's already out in theaters that I haven't had a chance to see yet. I'd like to go see it. Another horror movie. Really, there's no other movies coming out till Batman. I also work this week. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, we'll see how many hours I work and if I have time to watch movies. Really want to watch Dark Knight. I really want to watch Moonrise Kingdom. We'll see what else I watch this week. Yeah, I'm glad we got this closer to an hour. I'm still not quite at an hour. How's everything going in life, guys? How's everything for you? Do you currently have a snowstorm going outside that makes you not want to go outside at all? I know I do. Yeah. I got nothing else to say, guys. I hope you guys are having a great time doing whatever the hell you're doing in life. Feel free to comment below and tell me what you'd like to see if you are one of the very few people watching these videos. If you are, great, tell me what you'd like me to talk about. What movie would you like me to watch? Is there something you'd like me to work on? I think this TV thing might work all right. You really can't see the posters much, but I like that I can zoom in and you can kind of see a little better. It's not so much working for this one. But like this one, it worked great. That works good. You can see that pretty well. I don't know. I'll have to play with it. I think with every 5 episodes or so, every month, I'm going to try to do something to bamf this thing up a little bit. I'm going to try to learn a little bit more about technology when I have the time. Don't got a lot of that, but I will find time. Anyways, guys, have yourself a great week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Have yourself a drink. You have deserved it. I know I just finished mine. Yeah, let's all be happy. Let's all be good people, and let's keep watching movies. Anyways, guys, we'll see you in a week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.